KIT17. I started writing in 1974 for a crew called the MG Boys, and it was founded by Mark 198 Tyson. And this was one of our playgrounds here. This is the D yard. This is also a maintenance yard. And if you look over there by the tunnel, that's where they fixed all the trains. So they would bring all different kind of lines in here. And we would catch all different lines. Sometimes they're just hitting these things like crazy, man. They're getting the buff. We kept on hitting them and hitting them.
The buffer right near that green little building, right?
Yeah, the buffer's over here, actually. That's the buffer over there.
Oh, that little tunnel?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a car wash.
Yeah, that's exactly. But it was acid they were washing it with. And that's the 4 line right there. That's Bedford Park. And we would catch those in the 4 yard, which was right around here. Do you see Tracy Towers? The 4 yard was actually underneath Tracy Towers. They were built over the 4 yard, and that was our backyard. That's where we did a lot of work, man, in that yard. And if you look over here to your left, you see this is where the train pulled into the yard. And that's the 4 yard over there, actually, underneath that little tunnel. And what we would do is we would wait till after rush hour, about 8, 9 o'clock, after they were all pulled in. Sometimes we'd be on top of the pipe so we can look down and see what's going on. When everything was nice and quiet, we would go down and start piecing. But still you had the sweepers and you had the workers in there, man. We would actually paint, even though they were there. We knew our surroundings, so if anything happened, we knew how to get away. This is the front entrance of the 4 yard. They used to have 2 gates. It wasn't like it is now. It's like Fort Knox now. But they have 2 gates with a lock on it, and with barbed wire on the top. We would usually climb over it. That's how we would get. That was one way we got in this yard. There was another way. There's a parking lot. You see, if you drive up here, you see the parking lot in the back. We would walk up the parkway and go down. They have crevices. We would call them the crevices, and there were big. Actually, they were big shit pipes coming from Tracy Towers, and we would just hang out on the pipes and just sit there and just wait for everything to quiet down. And when everything quieted down, that's when we would drop down and go do our things, man. And also there was another way in, also down at the end, the stairway that you just walked by.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was the 3 ways in.
Okay, for the people that don't know, you know, graffiti and the lifestyle and shit, what's the point of being in a yard? What's the advantage as to just like being in the tunnels, running, hitting trains and shit like that? What's the advantage?
The difference is the yard. There was more trains parked. We knew this yard like the back of our hand. We used to come in this yard sometimes just to check out who was in here. We would hang on top of the pipes and look down, and that's what happened. But every yard that you went to, no matter what yard it was in New York, it was never quiet. There was always somebody in it. It had some kind of workers, or they had guys cleaning the trains, sweepers and all that. That's how it was back then. Still to this day, they're in there.
Getting chased out and shit?
Getting chased out. Yeah, we would get chased out by work bumps sometimes, and they would throw tools at us. They had wrenches. They would curse us out, you know. We just laugh. We run out and then wait for things to quiet down. We end up going back in there, man. You know, it was only when we got raided by real, like, back then it was called the graffiti squad. Now they call it the vandal squad, yeah. But back then, when you got raided, usually when you got raided, it means somebody set you up 90% of the time. I don't care what anybody says. There's bullshit that they just came and found you there. But somebody set you up. And we got raided in this yard quite a few times. And this yard is a scary yard to get raided in if you don't know about it. Because I mean, you running and there's like pillars every 4 or 5 feet. You got to squeeze in between, and there's cops behind you. And you order that, or you jumping on the train, and you went on the top of the train, jumping from train to train to train to get out. And the best thing to do when you're getting raided in this yard, don't run out the front, because they're going to be waiting right out here for you. That's how they flush you out. And that's how it was back then.
So what did you guys do?
So we would go back, and sometimes we would go just back and hide in the yard. There's sometimes trains that were bump trains, they never moved them. We would hide underneath the trains. I particularly at one time, I hid under there for 2.5 hours in a raid. And I got out. But I had some friends that ran out, you know, and they were cops there. They didn't get caught. Believe me, they did what they had to do to get away, and they got away. You know, they did their thing. Even with the cops there, they did their thing. But
back in those days, no cameras.
No, you kidding me? Nothing. There was nothing. I mean, no cameras, no surveillance whatsoever. You know, but we went back in later. We finished our shit, man. And that's the way it is, man. That's the way it went down back then. That guy works, he works in the yard. I just seen him pop out. The guy with the white shirt, so be careful. Hey, this is Esplanade right here, man. A lot of you guys know this is a famous tunnel, man. A lot of big riders did a lot of good shit down here. Most of my top to bottoms and the whole cars were done down here. Yeah, I mean, anybody from Comet, BSing, all these big riders were always coming down here in BSing, man. It's a well-known with Cap. This is one of Cap's favorite spots too, man. This is really a great place to come with peace back then.
Scary.
Yes.
The trains are coming. Like,
the thing was, there was always two trains laid up over here. So we went in between the two cars. So even though the trains were coming, they couldn't see us. But how you knew a train was coming on any layup? You would hear the tracks clicking, like a stop before they would come. They would make a click noise. And that's when we knew that it was time, sometimes on a regular layup, to get up in between the cars. We would see the lights of the train coming, but we knew it was a stop away when you would hear the clicks. So we were always aware of that, man.
That's crazy.
So we never really got caught out there like that. You know, like with the train scene is never. 5-line, baby. We did a lot of work on here. The MG boys did a lot of work on this line. A lot of pieces done by Mark 198, Ison, Blade, Comet, Tracy, Peanut 2, Cliff 159. All these big riders back in the day were really killing this line.
Is on Local 5, Train to Eastchester Dyer Avenue.
Okay, this is the way we got in Esplanade, this way. We usually, like, after 8 o'clock at night, they closed down all the token booths and people actually had to pay when they got on the train. So we were walking the station, there was nobody there. We just walked right down and just go right in this tunnel. And we had the place all night for ourselves. And we were doing a lot of shit there, man. A lot.
And this is where, like, they'd park a couple of trains that would just wait to get...
Yeah, well, they were parked all the way in the tunnel and they would extend out to this area right here, you know? And that was, we actually called that the stick-outs, because they would stick out. And people would piece over here also. But a lot of the main riders, man, if you were anybody back in the day that rode, you pieced in that tunnel there, you know? There was a lot of beef in there too, man. If you were a big rider, man, and you didn't go to Esplanade,
shit.
Well, nah, it was the place to be, man. It really was.
We're all on.
Okay, this brings back memories, man. This tunnel was crazy back in the day, man. I mean, it's just as dirty if you look right now, but when we did our top to bottoms here, you see these divider walls here? We stood on top of these, man. That's how we were able to do the top to bottoms in the whole cars. So it was easy. We didn't have to like reach up or nothing. We were right there level with the train. And most of my stuff was in here, man. All my top to bottoms. Yeah, we pretty much here knew when they were going to be here. But for me, the best time to come here was a Sunday morning. You see how quiet it is now? This is how it was Sunday. I would come here by myself. I had no problem. I would come here, do my piece, stay here for 2-3 hours, and I'm out. I used to walk home from here. It was beautiful. And no cameras, no security, nothing. But it wasn't easy either. Sometimes the cops would come. They would come on the station and smell the paint. They knew you were in there painting. And they would come down. I got chased out of here quite a few times.
I can imagine. It must have been a fucking hell of a lifestyle.
It was, man. Everything was raw. Everything was, we were just exploring everything. Nothing was already laid out for us. And the writers came from all different parts of New York just to come up here and piece down. You ready? Mm-hmm. Okay, this is what I did, man. I had a good day with my friend today, man. I just had to lay this out to people, man. What we did back in the day, how it was, the truth. It was all real. It was raw. We were just discovering shit, man. This is how it went down. It's not with the internet. There was no internet, none of this other bullshit, man. This is all stuff that was true, all stuff that we did, man. And this is how we did it, man. I just want to educate you people what went down back then and what was real. And that was it. And that's my train coming in right now. That's the 5 line, man. Coming in from Esplanade.